Oh, hello YouTube. What's going on? My name is Ted Carr, and I'd like to speak with you about the 3 things that I would recommend to myself 8 years ago when I was just getting into raw food. I'd recommend finding a strong enough reason ASAP. And that's what I did. In hindsight, looking back, I did do that. I did have a strong reason why I wanted to eat raw. My reason was I wanted to clean up my acne. Desperately wanted to clean up my acne. My face was horrible, my back was horrible, my chest was horrible, I couldn't take off my shirt. I needed to get rid of my acne. Then, once I find out about fruitarianism being the way humans are supposed to eat, because we're frugivores, every part of our body is designed for fruit, from our fingers to our eyes to our nose to our intestines to our anus to our toes. Everything about the human body is designed for fruit. Once I realized that, I was like, wow, why would I want to stray from nature? I wouldn't. I want to live in line with nature's design. I want to eat from the vine. I want to feel divine. That is my why. So I'd recommend it to myself 8 years ago. I'd say, bro, find that why and just hold on to that why power. Because your why power is so much stronger than your willpower. Your willpower is weak. Your willpower can snap. But your why power, bulletproof, bomb-proof, invincible. You've got to have a why power. I had why power. Next thing I'd recommend to myself 8 years ago, I'd say, hey bro, you know how you're feeling inspired when you watch these certain YouTubers? Well, stay inspired. You've got to stay inspired. And in hindsight, that's what I did. I stayed inspired. That's how I got to go to the Woodstock Fruit Festival. That's what made me buy these books on Amazon. That's what made me want to meet up with these people in real life. That's what made me want to start a YouTube channel. I was just incredibly inspired. I still am inspired. I still am inspired. And inspirational action is effortless. When you take action because you're inspired, when you take inspired action, it's effortless, man. Like when you're really inspired to go for a run, do you think it's like, oh, I gotta go for a run, it's so much hard? No, it's like, fuck, I'm so inspired, I gotta go for a run right now. Same goes for like anything, cleaning your room or meditating or going to a festival or going to a family dinner or something. Like if you're not inspired to go anywhere, do anything, then it's hard. It's really hard. So if you're not inspired, it's gonna be hard. And again, looking back, I was super inspired. That's why it was so easy for me to get on the raw train. It was so easy for me to keep watching these YouTube videos. And little did I know that it was a continuous cycle there. It's like when I watch a YouTube video, I feel inspired. Then I eat more raw food and I feel great. And then I'm in that vibe of raw veganism. And I was like, okay, I'm in that vibe. I need to consume more content from raw vegans. So I'll go back on YouTube and watch more raw vegans. People like Ann Osborne. People like Dan McDonald. Great resources, man. Who else is out there right now? What's that guy's name? There's that dude, post in the comments down below some raw vegans to watch on YouTube. There's Chris Kendall, there's Tandy Raw, there's that Hear Me Raw guy, Joshua, fuck, I botched his name, I'm sorry. John Rose, John Kohler. There's a bunch of raw vegans on YouTube that you guys can be watching. Super inspiring, super uplifting. And that's what I did, man. I just found people back in the day who were doing raw, who are no longer raw, like people like Kevin Gianni and things like that. And I would just watch them. I was so fascinated. It's like, wow, these people are living on just raw food. They don't cook their food. They eat it raw. I was like, I want that. I want that because I know it's best. And not many people else know about this, but I'm going to hop on it. It's really niche. But it's the way humans are designed to eat, so I'm all about that. So anyways, I stayed inspired. And the third advice I'd give myself, I'd say stock up and then focus on the fruit. Because that's like a 2-part tip. Stock up and then focus on the fruit. And I made grave errors several times, which I learned from, right? You learn from your errors, hopefully. You either win or you learn. On the days that you're all raw, you win. It's amazing. You wake up, you're like, fuck yeah, I'll do that again. And the days that you lose, well, hopefully you learn. Hopefully you don't beat yourself up. Hopefully you don't feel guilty and think, oh, I'm such a pathetic loser. Hopefully you think, wow, I just learned. I just ate a bunch of crap that didn't make me feel good. And I knew going into it that it wouldn't make me feel good, and yet I'm eating it anyway. What is going on there? What's going on in my brain? And then you can start like identifying habits and pathways that you're going on, and you can see it in other people as well too, especially with addicts of certain drugs or chemicals or whatnot. It's just like some pull towards something that they know they shouldn't even be consuming, but they're getting it anyway. So you're learning, always learning. And looking back, that's what I was doing. I was learning. And once I realized a few things. I try not to make the same mistake twice. One thing I learned was that if I didn't stock up enough, I'd get hungry and I'd just look for the only thing in the house, because you can only eat the food that's in your house, unless you go out shopping, but that's a pain in the ass, especially when you're hungry. So I wouldn't have much fruit, and I'd look in the cupboards, look in the drawers, just out of habit. And lo and behold, there'd be a bunch of food that I shouldn't be eating. It's vegan food, sure, but it's food that I don't want to be eating. Food like for my mom, for my sister, and for my dad. And so I'd be like, screw it, I'm just going to have this. And I feel like crap. And I'm like, hey, you know what? In order to prevent that from happening again in the future, I'm just going to stock up more. I'm just going to have way more fruit. So I bought a big fruit rack, and I filled that thing up. And then I was always in stock. I just kept stocking up. I stayed stocked up. No matter how much fruit I had in the house, I'd go and buy more. I might sneeze. Oh yeah. I just always be stocked up. And then I'd focus on the fruit. I couldn't read books about other foods or read articles online about other benefits of other foods, because as soon as I read about other foods, I'd want to eat them. Doug Graham has a great book about grains. It's called Grain Damage. And as I read that book, I was already raw vegan. I read that book. It's talking about like the dangers of eating grains, the dangers of eating all these different grains. And as I'm reading it, I'm like, wow, these grains are so bad for me. But you know what? Because I'm focusing so much on them, I'm going to go and buy some grains right now. So I went out and I bought a bunch of different grains. Like, I'm going to go put what he's saying to the test in this book. And I just ate a bunch of grains and felt like crap. I was like, wow, thanks, Doug. No, Doug's got a great book, the 80-10-10 diet. Go check that one out. That one's super inspiring. It helps you focus on the fruit. But forget the other one. You don't need grain damage. Focus on 80-10-10 diet. He's also got another one called Sports and Athletic Performance or something. That one is really good as well. Short little read. Amazing. And there's something else I was going to mention here. A little bit of advice, a little tip. No, I guess it's gone. Well, YouTube's never going to see that one. That thought came and went. But yeah, guys, it's like, you look back in your own life and you'll realize that wherever your attention was, that's where the energy was flowing. The universe is conspiring to help you out. But it's just helping you based on where you're focused. Because it thinks like, hey, if you're focused on this, it's really important, we're going to give you more of it. But that's not what you want. It's like when you're riding your bike really, really quickly, and you see a rock and you stare at the rock, you hit the rock. So you don't want to do that. You're riding on the bike and you see a rock, immediately look to the left or to the right of it and focus all your energy onto the left or to the right of that rock, but not on the rock itself. And same with you making a corner on a curve. You're making a sharp curve down a hill. Where do you look when you're on your bike? You look to where you want to go, and your bike just goes there. When you're surfing, get on a surfboard, you finally get up. Where's the surfboard going to go? Wherever your eyes take it. Your eyes lead. Your eyes lead. And same thing in life. Your vision is what leads you, right? Your vision leads you. My vision led me to where I am today. I've wanted to make videos on YouTube like a raw fooder for many years. I've seen myself as a raw fooder, YouTuber, before it even happened, before I even made my first vlog, before I even ate raw food. I was like, yeah, I'm a raw fooder. I wanted it so badly. Before I did my first triathlon, I called myself a triathlete. I just held the vision. And where did my life go? It went to where I was seeing myself go. So wherever you want to go in life, see yourself there already now. Feel it there now. Feel like you're already there. Call yourself a raw vegan. Even if you slip up occasionally, even if you slipped up in the past, call yourself raw vegan. If you eat a raw vegan meal, in that moment you are a raw vegan. The past doesn't define who you are now. You can let your present actions determine what you're doing now. But even then, like your present actions right now, maybe you're watching this eating a cooked meal. Your present actions now don't affect who you can become a minute from now, 2 minutes from now, 30 seconds from now, a second from now. If you want to be a raw fooder, you can become one in 3 seconds time. 1, 2, 3, you can be raw right now. You just hold your breath for 30 seconds or like 2 seconds to become a breatharian if you want. But wherever your attention goes, energy flows. And energy is just helping you create more things. It's creating the environment, creating circumstances, making people appear in your life, add you on Facebook, add you on Snapchat, add you on Instagram. Think, well, you're really cool at hanging out in real life. Like, if you focus on something long enough, then you're going to get all the things you need to make it happen. And you're only going to focus on something long enough if you're emotionally involved with it. So it goes back to that first bit, guys, just having strong enough why power so that you're actually thinking about it and being inspired enough to hold the vision. But yeah, 3 tips there. Have a why, have a reason why. Get extremely inspired and stay inspired. Don't just get inspired once and then leave it. Stay inspired. And Focus on the fruit, man. Stock up. Stock up. You want to have more than enough fruit. I've got so much fruit here that if someone came over, I could give them a meal. I could say, hey, no problem, have a fruit meal. I've got enough. I've got enough fruit here, so if some of it goes bad, it's no problem. I've got enough. I've got enough fruit here that if a bird flies through my window and starts eating it, it's okay. I've got extra. The bird can have the fruit it wants. You want to have more than enough. It's abundance. In nature, you walk around nature, there's fruit scraps everywhere. The trees are just raining mangoes. They're just raining mangoes in mango season. The fruit, nature is just abundant, man. It's prolific. It just wants to be out there. You can't waste fruit, man. Once you buy it from the store, you've already casted your vote, and the capitalistic society that we live in, the capitalistic world we live in, is like, all right, you bought the mango, we're going to order more mangoes. The more mangoes that are bought from Whole Foods or wherever you buy your mangoes from, the more that store wants to stock mangoes next time. So even if you waste it at home, no one knows that it got wasted. All they know is it got bought, and they're going to start producing more mangoes as a result. You vote with your dollar. Every dollar you spend is a vote for what you believe in. Every dollar you spend is a vote for what you believe in. So if you're buying shitty food, you're voting for more shitty food. If you buy beautiful, delicious, organic, sweet, juicy, local fruit, you're voting for more of that. If you buy raw vegan food, you're voting for more raw vegan food. So whether you eat it or not is irrelevant. You will be producing more of it in the world if you spend $1 on it. So thanks for watching, guys. And if you want to stay inspired, maybe you want to subscribe to this channel, but you'll subscribe if you want. I don't need to tell you to. But I do maybe need to remind you to give this video a thumbs up. Really appreciate that. If you watch this far, really appreciate a thumbs up. And if you haven't already downloaded my Success MP3, definitely want to check that out. Listening to audiobooks on repeat is what really turned my whole mind around. Like I said, where your attention goes, energy flows. And if you can just listen to a 10-minute audio recording on repeat every day, your attention's got no choice but to be focused in the direction of your dreams, of your goals. And if you hold that vision long enough, if you hold your attention on your dreams and vision long enough, it's going to become a reality for you. So I've created an MP3 to help you hold the vision. It's just $2. You can get it in the description below. So much love from Port Moody, British Columbia, Canada. I'll see you guys this summer. Adios.